Locals in Medicine Hat recently had the opportunity to attend the State of the City address and the ambitious plans for the next 20 years to support the growth of the gas city. There is a movement afoot to help grow the city by its mayor, Linnsie Clark, and her council. Mayor Clark joins us now from the Gas City. Welcome back to Bridge City News, Linnsie. Wonderful to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so as of the 2021 census, the city of Medicine Hat had a population of 63,271. I'm sure it's grown a little bit since then. That was a couple of years ago. So the city now has a goal to grow that number to 110,000 people in 20 years. So this sounds it does sound a little ambitious. It's a growth of more than 40,000 people. So how does the city plan to reach this goal?
Well, that's the tricky part, isn't it? The plan itself will be built out over time, but what it will require is strategic and targeted industry attraction, retention, and expansion that creates high-paying, high-skilled jobs. And then, of course, doing the same, retaining existing for workers, retaining existing talent in our community and attracting highly skilled individuals to our community. So that could be through immigration, the creation of high quality employment opportunities. And certainly we know that we need to make a welcoming community or continue to have a welcoming community because people want to feel like they belong where they live. So you can attract workers here, but if they don't want to stay, that's not going to grow your population. So that's one of the features of the plan for purposeful growth.
Okay, city councils are an extension of the provincial government according to municipal governance. So, Mayor Clark, are you able to describe how the provincial and federal governments can help to accomplish your plans for the city?
Yes, so we recently applied for and were successful in retaining were approved for the rural renewal stream to support attraction and retention of newcomers in rural Alberta through a community-driven approach. And we've also partnered with a few other municipalities in our community in this endeavor. So Cypress County, County of 40 Mile, Town of Redcliffe, and Town of Bow Island. And that will empower our community to recruit and retain foreign nationals to live and work and settle here. And so that was an initiative that was jointly between the federal government and provincial government. And we were lucky enough to get that opportunity here.
Okay, now I'm curious. Premier Danielle Smith recently won a seat in the Brooks Medicine Hat riding. So has it been beneficial having her there?
Well, she hasn't been in that seat for a very long time. And as you know, a premier's life is very busy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Certainly, we've had opportunities to meet with her and hear about her vision for our community and our region. And I think her voice in the legislature is a powerful one. And we anticipate that she's doing her best to bring the needs of our region to the forefront.
How often do you and the premier get to chat?
We've only chatted a couple of times. I know that, or a few, I guess would be more correct. I know that she regularly meets with others in our community as well. And what we have noticed is greater interaction with ministries. And we are working on developing a government relations strategy. I think over time, we've had the benefit of being a relatively wealthy city and had the luxury of not necessarily having to engage as much with the federal and provincial governments. But now we realize that we can't do anything alone. So we think it's time for us to start building those relationships, and that has started.
That's great. Now, do you have any ideas on how the towns and cities within Alberta could benefit from oil and gas royalties, given the size of budget windfalls?
I am not sure what the provincial government plans to do with those the surprise money in the budget, or the budget surplus. So we can wait and see. I know that there has been an effort to provide some assistance to residents in relation to the inflationary prices that are ongoing, and some of the higher electricity prices and the higher gas prices.
Well, we started out by talking about the growth in Medicine Hat and your hopes for that. Can you describe maybe the important role of small and medium-sized businesses in growing the size of Medicine Hat?
Yeah, so small businesses make up the vast majority of businesses in Alberta. And I think it's something like 87% of all businesses in 2021 had fewer than 5 employees. So if you increase those businesses by even 1 or 2 employees, you're making a huge impact. So really, that's when you're talking about 87% of the businesses, that's a real driver for our economy, any economy. And you by making facilitating growth in those areas, you can make a large impact with a little impact. So a small amount of jobs results in a lot of jobs in the aggregate.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe talk about the partnerships that currently exist to help establish and grow small and medium-sized businesses in Medicine Hat.
Yeah, sure. So we recently applied for a regional economic development grant from the province. And this project is a collaboration with a number of other municipalities. So we're a part of it: Cypress County, County of 40 Mile, Town of Boyland, Town of Redcliffe, and the Village of 40 Mile. And that's basically the municipalities in the Canada's Census Division number 1. And so we're looking forward to working, if we are successful in getting the grant, to working together to develop a regional economic development strategy. But in addition to just the municipalities, we have a number of exceptional economic development organizations in our community that we'll be relying on as well. So we're looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts and working on a mechanism where we can communicate and be successful in deploying a regional economic development strategy, so that, like so many other plans, it doesn't end up just collecting dust on a shelf.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Our news director, Hal Roberts, had mentioned that when he worked at Chat TV around 18 years ago, he noticed that the city had a lot of seniors, and there was a push then to draw more younger people to the city. Is that still the case now? I'm not as familiar as with Medicine Hat as he is. So is that still the case?
Absolutely. That is a key and necessary driver for this council. And one of the things that we think we need to do as part of our purposeful growth strategy, but also to attract and retain youth in the city, is to provide the types of jobs that they're looking for, the jobs of the new economy, jobs that are high quality jobs, but that fit within the ambitions of younger people. And so if we can do that, we stand a stronger chance to retain the young people that already live here and attract new young people as well. We have a college, Medicine Hat College, which provides also an opportunity for people who might not live here, might not have grown up here, to come and check out Medicine Hat while they go to school. And if we can provide a welcoming enough community with lots of fun things to do, then we stand a better chance of having some of those students stay in Medicine Hat because they feel like they belong here.
Now, Medicine Hat was accepted into the Alberta government's Rural Renewal Stream program. So what does that mean for the city?
Yeah, so I touched on this before. It is a collaborative project, and it really will just help us to attract foreign nationals into our community, to help fill some of our jobs that are difficult to fill, provide an opportunity for both business and community to benefit from having additional immigration into our region.
Okay, interesting. I know the city does have a number of initiatives. Maybe you can talk about a couple of them. I know you have the yellow sandboxes. Maybe explain what that's all about.
Well, there's a lot of ice here. I don't know how much ice you guys have, but
Oh,
um,
plenty.
so we provided. You know, it's very expensive to clear off all the ice on all the streets. Like per snowfall, to do all of it is $1.5 million, I think. But we recognize the need to have safe streets, and that there was a real concern about the iciness around. So we provided some sand that's free for use for residents in our city to sprinkle as required.
Sprinkle as required. I like that. Maybe talk a little bit about the fair entry program.
Yeah, our fair entry program has existed before this council, and it's for program to help low income families and individuals afford popular city programs. So we did recently make a change in the last December. Council approved a motion to amend the program to add transit. And we also increased the subsidy rate for eligible services from 50 to 75%. And we also increased the maximum user fee assistance available per resident for recreation and Esplanade, which is our theater education programs.
Okay. Maybe talk about if you have plans on how you see the city and local organizations working together to accomplish future goals for the Hat Piece. You know, I think about maybe something like the Chamber of Commerce or Apex, for example.
Yeah, so we are going to be engaging with a number of different community groups over the next year through town halls, just to make sure that there's another avenue, and it's more of an in-person conversational avenue for individuals in our community to provide their feedback to the city, ask questions. Sometimes people feel upset because they don't necessarily understand why something's happening. So that provides us an opportunity to give maybe more of an extended explanation. And we're also going to be looking into providing some resources that individuals in our community who want to start community associations, such as neighborhood associations, a group that is really interested in mountain biking, and then how they interface with the city as well. Certainly, the Chamber of Commerce, Apex, Entrecorp, Verge Economic Development, Medicine Hat College, Medicine Hat Real Estate Board, Build, and I'm probably missing some here, but these organizations do help us to find solutions because they're on the ground, and that's really what one of the things this council wants to do is get closest to the problem and allow solutions to bubble up from the grassroots where the issue is really people are experiencing the issue because they're in the best possible situation to determine what a solution might be.
So true. Really quickly, let's move on to transportation for a minute here. I know here in Lethbridge, we've been trying to expand our airport. Is there talk of extending the main runway at the Medicine Hat Airport? Is that still a part of the plans to grow the city?
Yeah, that's something that's still under discussion. And I know that this current provincial government has expressed some interest in developing out municipal airports and recognizes them as an important part of growing an economy. I'm not sure that we have I can't say a specific plan or dates at the moment, but certainly work is being done to determine what that might look like.
Okay, and how about Highway 3? How important is it to twin Highway 3? How important is that to the growth and economy of Medicine Hat?
Well, it's such an important corridor, transportation corridor, and it really has a lot of benefits in terms of the the traffic between Lethbridge and Medicine Hat and all the towns in between and beyond, even to the east. So we are looking forward to the provincial government living up to their commitment to expand that highway and twin that over the next few years.
We are just about out of time here, Mayor Clark, but is there anything else you wanted to add?
So we were accepted into the Community Action Lab, the Strong Towns Community Action Lab. We're the only city in Canada um, that was accepted into this pilot program. And on February 7th, which is coming up soon, at the Esplanade Arts and Heritage Center at 7 p.m., there will be a public session where everyone can come and learn about what the Community Action Lab is and how we are going to implement it here. And we are very fortunate to have the president of Strong Towns, Charles Marin, will be there in attendance. And so we're really looking forward to that.
Oh, it sounds fabulous. Looks like we're out of time here, but Medicine Hat Mayor Linnsie Clark, we appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for chatting with us from the Gas City.
Thank you.
I'm Jeanette Roche on behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News. Thanks so much for watching.